Okay guys, welcome back to the layout. As I mentioned in my last video, it was my layout update number 15. We had an op session here about a week and a half ago now, and a couple of things turned up on the layout that I want to address. But you see here just a list of, I guess, 10 things we want to do before the next op session. How I divide those up is the A's, anything with an A in front of it is something that I absolutely must get to before the next op session. Anything with a B is sort of a nice to have. It would be great if I did it, but it's not going to stop us from operating. And then C is things that are just really, really nice to have, but we totally don't need to do it before we operate. Item number 1, the turnout throw in Berkshire. Okay, we're over here at the scene of the offending turnout. All right, so I've got a train position here. I'm going to go ahead and mute the sound. The biggest issue we were having, as I said, is when a train was coming in here down the diverging route and derailing in here somewhere. I suspect it's because this throw point, the points didn't throw all the way over. Here comes 4551 in bad need of a weathering job, but that's another thing on the list. That's actually a B item on the list, to weather a couple of locomotives. I should say it's not on the list I showed you, it's on another list that I maintain. It sounded like something with, there we go, okay. I don't know if you noticed that when we ran the train past, these last two cars in the cut here are the ones that derailed. Let's take a closer look at them in a minute. I'm going to actually lift those off and just put them to the side here. There's a couple of things that we could try here, which is, you notice it's leaving just a pretty considerable gap. I mean, it's large enough for me to fit this file right through there. And that's not satisfactory. I'll tell you this, if I was starting this layout today, it would probably be all the new Walthers track and turnouts. Right here, where the point rail joins to the rest of the closure rail, it has a, I think it's the closure rail. Anyway, whatever rail it is, it's just barely in the end of this rail joiner. And this is just held in place. It's the point rail is shoved into this rail joiner, and the rail joiner is crimped just a little bit. And that's how they make these things, and that serves as the hinge. There's a real big gap right here, and it's barely in that rail joiner. And I suspect what might happen at some point in the future is this is just going to pop out. I've had that happen before. So I think what I'm going to do is take a look at my stash and see if I have a microengineering turnout. I need a number 6 right. Let me take a look, and I'll give you an update here in a few minutes. All right, I'm back, and look what I found in the storage room. A microengineering number 6 right, exactly the turnout we need. Just a quick rundown of the tools. First thing is just a bottle of water. This is pretty heavily mixed with isopropyl alcohol. I used 70%. And what we're going to do with this is basically soak the ballast in this, let that deactivate the glue or loosen the bond of the glue. And then we need something that we can kind of come up gently under the turnout and pry it up without tearing up the track on either side of it. And that's what I use these for. This is actually an artist palette knife, but what's nice about it is it's got a really thin blade, so we're going to use it in this. And just a standard putty knife. I also never start a project around the layout without these. These are my favorite needle nose pliers. I actually got these from my grandfather when I was probably 10 or 11 years old. He gave me some tools, and this was one of them. And I still use it. I think I use it on virtually every project on the layout, and an awful lot of modeling projects. The other tool we have is a rail nipper. And we have to get serious in here since we're not going to try to salvage. So the first step is to just thoroughly soak the track. And as I said, this is water with isopropyl alcohol, and we just want to soak really maybe just outside the ends of the turnout on both ends. I'm going to let that settle for a few minutes, and then we'll come back and see, can we lift this thing out. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Okay, so the ballast is loose, which is good news. So the next step is to slide in these rail joiners on both ends, and then we can get the What you don't want to do is go in here and kind of guerrilla this up. You want to go in here and just sort of lift it gently and then see what you're dealing with. And then we can adjust from there. But now we know it's popped loose along the whole length of the turnout right here. Still got the turnout is hanging up on a couple of the rail joiners. Again, we don't want to tear up the other track. Again, the goal here is not to save this turnout. I think we just might have identified one of our problems. Yes, and I hate considering what turnouts cost doing it this way, but actually this is probably the third layout I've used this turnout on, so I shouldn't really complain. You see here, this is a feeder, and this is the power wire to the frog. We're just going to trim both of those. And the next step is to scrape the rest of the ballast up here. And we're just going to make a little pile off to the side. This is one of those things that if it ends up kind of stuck in the scenery, it's not that big of a deal. It just looks like Morrison grid. It's taken me about 3 or 4 minutes off camera to finish this up. And we got ourselves some nice scrap piles. Let's see. So we've got our feeder wire here. We're going to leave that in place. The frog wire, the frog power wire, that goes into the bottom of the... I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to solder it to this little metal tab on the bottom of the microengineering layout. Obviously, the first thing I'll do is polish it up so we can get a good solder joint there. We have the area where we remove the old turnout. What I've noticed here is the throw wire is actually sort of catching or rubbing against the cork and the plywood right along this edge, on this back edge, when it's thrown, and that looks like what's delaying it or interfering with it throwing smoothly. Well, that's at least part of it. That combined with the fact that the turnout throw rod was just kind of sticking. We're going to take care of that by clearing out some of this cork and plywood here, just enough to free this up a little bit. This looks like it's mostly just a chunk of cork. So what this is a file, a round file. It's like a bigger round rat tail file. But there's one piece of the plywood that is just sort of sitting proud of the edge of the cork. I think we might have got it here. Too bad, I guess. So let's smooth this out a little bit. Let's try it now. Now it's moving both sides, side to side. Okay, so when we put the turnout in with the throw rod, it's actually going to move this throw rod over a little bit, just enough to completely clear everything. So it looks like it isn't catching on anything down there anymore. There we go, look at that. We're good to go now. All right, with the throw rod throwing smoothly now, at least without a turnout in place, we'll see how it does with the turnout in a few minutes. It's time to just kind of sand this smooth. There's still some rough bits of ballast on here. We want to get this fairly smooth and level so we don't create any undulations in the new turnout when we put it down. Okay, that feels pretty smooth, and so we'll just go ahead and vacuum up any loose grit. And here's our replacement turnout again. As I mentioned off camera, you notice I've soldered a feeder wire to the frog, the bottom of the frog here. I shined up the little metal nub on the base of the frog on the other side of the turnout. I also enlarged the hole for the throw rod a little bit, just to fit the throw rod I'm using on here. And I removed the ties from the end of the turnout in order to let me slide the rail joiners all the way in, so I can lay the turnout in place and slide the rail joiners back on. At that point, I'll just, when everything dries and is set, we'll go ahead and fill in the ties with replacement ties. So with our track bed prepared and nice and smooth, our turnout, our throw rod throwing smoothly without catching on the plywood or the cork, and our turnout pre-prepped and ready to go, it's time to put some glue down here. Now, some people might be horrified by this, but what I use for this is just ordinary Elmer's glue. And the reason I do that is it's easy to prop the track up if I have to move it like you saw earlier. And I'm not using the Elmer's school glue, I'm using the regular full-strength Elmer's. Mark where that hole is. Right about there. And won't go down into the hole, and the reason is underneath the layout here there's a pair of 1x4s for these two sections of layout that are of course right here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cut a little trough in this and run the wire to the back just to clear the wood frame, and then drop the wire down. I have a drawer where I just keep random tools that I don't really use all that often, and when I was digging around in there looking for something a few minutes ago, I remembered maybe I don't need to use the knife to cut a trough in this. Maybe we can drill through with a airplane bit like this, which is basically a really long drill bit. So we're going to try that. I don't know if this is going to work, but it might be a little easier than doing the trough through the cork method. All right, let's see if that worked. Drill one hole turns into a 10-minute project, but that's model railroading for you. All right, there we go. Now back to what we were doing a few minutes ago. So the first step is to get the throw rod. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it. We want to get the throw rod up through the hole in the turnout throw bar here, without getting our fingers coated with glue. And this is, I will tell you right now, this is usually the fussy part of the project. Yes. Okay, there it is. All right, one other thing I realized in doing this, and again, this is all part of tweaking this area of track, is that this tie is raising the end of this rail up a little bit. This is just a scrap tie that was put in as a filler. So I think what we want to do is take this out and not have the rail joiner up on top of that. And when we replace it, we're going to replace it with a thinner tie. Okay, so the glue on the turnout has had sufficient time to dry. It's actually the next day. So I finished up last night, and the last step was just putting these weights on the turnout, and then went upstairs, and then I came back downstairs and double checked some things, and then I test through the turnout once just to see how it was working. And of course the little bracket on the tortoise that fits into the slots that move the wire back and forth or help contribute to the fulcrum action on the wire dropped out, and so I ended up this morning fabricating, as you can see, yet another throw rod. So I'm going to zoom in here so you can see this. This is the first time I've tried to do it since I reinstalled this wire. So going to the right side, it looks like it's sufficiently throwing, and going to the normal route or through route, certainly looks like it's throwing fine. So I'm going to declare that the mechanical portion of this job is done. We obviously have to trim the wire off here, excuse me. And then I need to reinstall the feeder over here in order to get power to this side of the frog, this rail right here. Other than that, I think we're done with this one, but let me go ahead and get this thing clipped and get out the Dremel. I'm going to turn the camera off for that. I don't really want to have any potential of flinging wires hitting me or the camera. And then I'm going to solder the feeder wire in place, and we'll give it a test run. Okay, time for the acid test, which in my case is a brass steam locomotive. Okay, looking back at our checklist of things we need to do, item number 1, the turnout throw in Berkshire, is I'm going to call that complete. We'll move on to the next item.